I remember like it was yesterday, the first day that I saw you. You look like an angel that just came down from heaven.
This is Vivian Villacis.
And this is Raul Villacis.
Welcome to the God, Money, and Purpose podcast.
Welcome to the Got Money and Purpose podcast. My name is Raul Villacis, and I'm here with my beautiful queen.
That's right, Vivian Villacis. We are coming to you from a new and special destination place, the Turks and Caicos.
We couldn't resist. We were debating whether we should have this podcast live or not, but Vivian said we got to do it. We got to stay committed. So just like the teacher says, fuck excuses, right? Fuck excuses. We got to get in. So what are we going to talk about today, babe?
So we are out here in Turks and Caicos actually celebrating our 21st anniversary, and we were thinking of a title, and what better title than what keeps the relationship alive, what keeps the relationship going. And I think that's one of the beautiful things, that we actually get to have these conversations when we unplug ourselves from the regular routine, the regular life. And we actually, you don't necessarily need to come to the Turks and Caicos, but I think that you do need to have these conversations and ask yourself, what could you do to continue to grow in your relationship? What could you do to continue to expand in the relationship? And I think that's really the place where we are right now.
Well, especially because, we're going 100 miles an hour, and most entrepreneurs I know, we just focus on going. And we need to take some time to reset, recharge, and recommit. And that's what we're doing here. 5 days. I think the longest time that we've gone away, 5-7 days. We don't usually like to go away too long. But it just takes time for us to unwind first, about a day or so, to get out of the 100-mile-an-hour highway. And then you have to start looking at, okay, what are we here to do? What are we here to accomplish? We have to reconnect. We have to recharge. And at the end of the day, if we're not taking time off to feed the queen, to feed the king, we're not gonna be serving at the highest potential. I think that's everybody who listens to my podcast, everybody who connects with us, they want to go to the next level. So what does that mean? To go to the next level, you have to be able to do what most people are not willing to do, which is disconnect, which is invest, which is take time off, which is like sometimes things, have decisions that you have to, get uncomfortable having. And that's one of the key things I believe that we did here with Vivian. Just take time off. Yeah, the business will keep on going. The kids will survive without us. And we have to make a choice. We have to make a decision. Do we invest in ourselves? Do we invest time, money, and energy to recharge, reset, and recommit? Or we continue to do the same shit over and over again, expecting results, which is the definition of insanity.
So here's the thing for me, I really want to, for the ones that are listening to this podcast or to this Facebook Live, Raul and I are celebrating 21 years of marriage. And it's so amazing. Facebook, the reason why we like to post on Facebook is also because it's a journal for us. And it just goes back and it reminds you of different things or different places that you've been through, right? And there's 3 different pictures that we've uploaded. And one of them was we were sitting in this beautiful beach. We love beaches, by the way, if you can't tell. We were sitting in a beautiful beach. And the first picture, we weren't even having dinner. We just took the picture there. So imagine that. We couldn't even have the dinner there. The second one, we were having dinner. And that's a time when we actually had this deep, honest, raw conversation as to where we are in our marriage. Where do we want to go in our marriage? What do we want from a marriage? And what makes us happy ultimately? Are we happy in our marriage? And that was the beginning of so many things. It was a ripple effect of just this painful time, but at the same time, it was so rewarding because it was a lot of change that needed to happen. And if we didn't have that conversation, I don't think we would have ever been able to celebrate this 21 years. And then yesterday we had this amazing, beautiful dinner celebration. Almost I felt like it was deja vu because, I was sitting there not too long ago and us having this conversation, and like I get emotional because I could totally remember if I close my eyes where we were as a couple of this place that like, yes, there was love, but love is not enough. And we were just living a day to day, and, you know, like to be there yesterday and to sit there and to actually remember where we were and where you could be in X amount of time if you are only willing to commit to each other, if you're only willing to commit to yourself. And I just, you know, I love you each and every year so much more, Raul, because, you know, you just outdo yourself every single day, every single year. It's just something that it fills my heart. So one of the things that three of the things that we've actually really done this vacation is taking the time to find intimacy, time to find connection, and time to find communication. Because I truly feel like if we don't have these three things, if we don't take the time to have intimacy, to have connection, and to have communication, you could not go to the next level. And these are three things that we have incorporated into our life, and not just, you know, on this beautiful vacation, because maybe not everybody could go on a vacation because of kids, because of COVID, because of whatever else. But I want to remind you that you could do this on a daily basis. I want to remind you that you don't have to go away to a beautiful paradise, but you do need to continue to work on your relationship, because if not, it falls apart. If not, you find yourself in this place of loneliness or anger or resentment when so many things have gone too far out of your way.
I think that what you said is key, Vivian, is like looking back and the turning points in our lives. And I know that for men, we don't like to admit that we make mistakes. We don't like to admit that we were wrong. We don't like to admit, you know, certain things that makes us look like we are failures. But I think that the only way to create an impact in life is to really look back at the turning points. That okay, how did I pivot? How did I make something out of a mistake? How can I learn from the experience? Because what we were talking about yesterday at dinner, you were right. We have the same picture, you know, in a beautiful beach. Here's the beach, and we had dinner there. And I just said to Vivian, it's like in our 13th anniversary, we were having the same experience, but we were completely a different version of ourselves. You know, I was full of ego. I was full of trying to make my business, you know, thrive. And I was focusing on trying to make as much money as I could, thinking that was the key to our relationship. And even though that's important, money is not everything. Love is not going to be enough. Is the fight and the journey. The energy that you bring in to the marriage is what makes a difference. So we're light years ahead of where we were 10 years ago. We're light years ahead of where we were 21 years ago. And at the same time, we're looking forward of where we're going. But that's not possible unless we take some time off to appreciate our failures, to appreciate the times that we're able to pivot, to appreciate the times that we're able to be honest with ourselves, even though it was painful.
Yes, and then it also leads me to saying that you must celebrate the little things that you do, because along the way, Raul and I have had this, yes, major changes. But when we take our time to do like the date nights, or to take the time to have connection at night or in the morning on our walks, or whenever it is that we have connection, we have to make time to make connection. We actually celebrate the small wins that we have in a relationship. Because when you get to a place like this, to a beautiful place, and if you haven't celebrated those little things, I feel like you can't just get here and start like a whole celebration of like, okay, 21 years. That's I think where we have failed in the past, because we didn't either address the little things or we didn't celebrate little things. But now what we do in our life, and this is something daily that we continue to bring awareness to, and awareness, I just mean light. I mean, like, let's bring it out into the open. what is it that I need to celebrate in my daily life? What is it that I need to celebrate in my husband's daily life? Like what did he do for me today that I could actually praise him and celebrate him? And maybe there was something that we need to have a conversation on. So let's have this conversation today, right now. Let's make the time for it. So when we get to this beautiful place or this beautiful year, then we could actually have the time to celebrate big, because it's a huge accomplishment. And that's the reason why we actually leave our kids, we unplug, because we feel this sense of like we must celebrate because it wasn't easy.
Yeah. And listen, if you're watching this through Facebook or YouTube, comment, how many years have you been married? I want to kind of get the sense of the people who follow us. How many years have you been married? Because it doesn't matter whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it is, every single time is a celebration. We have to stop looking at marriage as like, oh shit, I'm 10 years in or I'm 15 years in. Like, you talk to guys all the time, like, oh man, I'm 20 years married, like same shit, different day. We have to start looking like, man, that's an accomplishment. Fuck, like, how many people fail in marriage or in business? You don't ask an entrepreneur, I said, how many years been as an entrepreneur? They're not saying, well, I've been here 20 years. No, they're excited, man. I'm 20 years into the business, man. I'm still going. I'm still making shit happen. Like, we have to start looking with the same energy. If somebody's asking you how long you've been married, bring the same fucking energy as if you have to be proud about that.
Yeah.
Proud that you're making it. So comment here how many years you've been married, and what brings excitement. I think this morning I was talking to Vivian over breakfast, and we were talking about what we want for the next 21 years. Actually, what's for dinner? Last night we were talking dinner, and I said, what do you want to? What's the intention for the next 21 years? And one of the things that we said is we want more adventure. We want more adventure. We want to create more excitement, even more excitement into our marriage, into our lives. And this morning when I was meditating, it's like that's when we lose the edge as men. We forget to have adventures. We forget to go out and play. We forget to really do the things that brings us energy, and we're constantly focusing on the things that drain our energy.
Yeah, well, and it's the same thing for us women, because and the reason why we started having this conversation is because now that we, after I got sick, we stopped drinking. I stopped drinking, so Raul started drinking too. And it's so easy. It was so easy for us to like actually have like crazy fun and a lot of fun when you're drunk. I mean, let's be real here. Like, like when you're drunk, you do a lot of crazy things, and then the crazy things lead into like a lot of fun things. But I was telling Raul, like, I don't want our adventure to stop. I don't want our fun times to stop, because I mean, Raul, you are a crazy man without having alcohol. When you have alcohol, it's just like an added bonus. But I don't want that, and I don't think we need that. I know that we don't need that in our life. And I just know that like when I see you, how it changes the way that you feel when I am even adventurous, when I push myself to be like just a little bit adventurous, because I'm not an adventurous person. I'm very cautious. I'm very like grounded and relaxed, and that's who I am. And I love that part about me. But when I push the envelope and I do become a little adventurous and I go out to this deep, beautiful ocean to swim when I really don't know how to swim, then I see the way that my man looks at me, and it's like, that's when the desire actually kicks in. And that's when like there is something in the other person that is so unfamiliar that actually sparks something new. And it's the same thing for me. Like, when I see you do stuff, which you do a lot of crazy stuff, it allows me to actually bring that part out in me too. So I know adventure, fun is part of intimacy, is part of like you bringing that aliveness into your marriage. And maybe you guys could, even as you're hearing this podcast or this Facebook Live, give us some ideas as to what we could do, Raul and I, in this next 21 years to bring more adventure into our life.
One of the years that we surprise that I gave Vivian, because I'm constantly looking to surprise Vivian with different things, and it's getting harder and harder every year. I remember one of the most epic adventures that we had is when I blindfolded you. I told you we were going to go into a vacation, but it wasn't, I didn't tell you where, and I blindfolded you all the way to the airport, and I told you to pack warm clothes, clothes for warm weather and clothes for cold weather. And I told the flight attendant to just announce like we're gonna fly to Alaska, right? And I had the earphones on,
And the
a blindfold on, so you had no idea where we were going, and the whole trip was an adventure.
Yes.
And that was one of the most epic experiences that we have, because you had no idea where we were going. And I think a lot of us as men, we forget that our wives need adventure too. We need to bring more excitement into their lives.
And also that I would say the busy, high level 100 miles an hour entrepreneur needs that piece of excitement, of adventure, of maybe slowing down a little, not necessarily stopping, but slowing down. What are you slowing down for? And in a relationship as a woman, like, we could take charge in that and just find that place, find that queen mentality that actually steps in and brings out that energy of like, hey, let's play a little, like let's just have fun. So that's something that we've incorporated.
And then another element is a surprise element. Another element is a surprise element. You have to bring surprises. You have to bring the surprise element to relationships. So with that said, we're gonna have a surprise for you. The team and I, we've been putting together this video that we want to show you today. We want to show you this masterpiece that Daniel has done. We were here in vacation. The team put together this video that we created before leaving, and I want to get your feedback on it. So Daniel, whenever you're ready in the studios, you can cue it up for me to watch the video.
I remember like it was yesterday, the first day that I saw you. You looked like an angel that just came down from heaven. My world stood still that moment, and I said to myself, that's the girl I'm gonna marry one day. The funny thing is that I didn't even know your name. All I knew was that your soul recognized my soul, and they met again in this lifetime. We became friends, but my plan was always to steal your heart. I waited patiently for the right moment. I know that I say that you're the one who kissed me first, but I had planted that seed the first day that we met. We were just kids back then. We fell in love and we thought it was gonna last forever. So we got married, we had kids, and we thought that we were gonna live happily ever after, but nobody told us that marriage would be the hardest thing that we'll ever do in our lives. We both tried not to kill each other the first decade, but at the same time, we began to grow apart. The things that you loved about me, you started to detest. And the things that I used to love about you began to trigger me. I don't know about you, but many nights I wonder if we were gonna make it. We started with lots of dreams, but little by little those dreams seem to be so far away. So how do we do it? How do we make it this far? I began to remember. To remember the feeling when I saw you the first day. To remember that you're my angel, not my enemy. I began to work on me and to stop judging you, and I focus on all the good things that you have instead of the things that I wanted you to change. And little by little, we began to shift. It didn't happen overnight. We both began to remember that it's not the first time that our souls met. We've played this game before, over and over again, but we always promise to come back to each other. I can honestly say that today I love you more than I ever did, and I can promise you without a shadow of a doubt that tomorrow I will love you even more, because you're my queen in this lifetime or the next. I was born to love you. I was born to cherish you. I was born to make sure that every single day you feel love, you feel connected, you feel passion. Because your soul called my soul. We're connected again. And you help me remember who I am. And we promise together that every time one of us forgets, the other one will help remember. Remember. This is the game that we always play. This is the polarity of the king and the queen. the moment that I see your soul meeting my soul, realize that our love will expand and transcend this lifetime and the next. I live to love you. Happy anniversary.
Brownie points. That's all I can say.
I love you, babe.
I love you more. Now I see why you wanted to do a Facebook Live, huh? Thank you to our amazing team. Thank you for our amazing team for putting that together. Daniel, thank you. Jay, whoever was involved in the video. Babe, I love you so much. You are always coming up with something to make my heart just feel so full. And you take my words away. You take all my words away and you fill my heart completely. I love you.
You know, one of the things as I watch you watch the video and I see the screen, you know, what comes to me is that we can't take these moments for granted. We have to stop thinking that we're promised tomorrow. If you're listening to this, man, like your woman is not your mother. Your woman is not your enemy. Your woman is not there to hinder your blessings. She's there to uplift you. But we have to uplift them first. When I chose to work on me and stop trying to change Vivian, our relationships changed. And I'm so proud of being with you, babe. I'm so proud to see the queen that you've emerged to become. And I know that next 21 years are going to be even better because you're getting better every single day. I live to love you.
That is our goal and our intention for the next 21 years. We've set some beautiful intentions. And, you know, the ones that are listening, I pray that you start where you are. Don't compare yourself to anyone out there. Don't compare yourself to us because our story is totally different than yours. If you're listening to this and you're hearing this, work on your relationship, work on your partner, work on yourself. And I promise you that when you start to do the little things, they will add up to the big ones that really count for celebration. I love you.
And men, seek adventure. Seek adventure within your marriage. Seek adventure inside. Most of us, we seek adventure on the outside. We think that those are going to fulfill our needs. If one thing I tell you that every single day there's temptation, there is adventures that we can seek out outside, but the moment that we start looking within inside and realizing that every single day we could bring the adventure into a marriage, we could bring the adventure into a life. But stop looking for superficial shit that fulfill you. Start looking for the deep purpose within inside of you. If you want your woman to shift, you take ownership first, do the fucking work, and level the fuck up. Thank you, babe. Love you.
I love you too.
It's been a great podcast, great surprise video.
Yes, that's been an amazing podcast.
Thank you for every single one of you guys who follow us, connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Follow us everywhere, except for our bedroom. And tonight, right there.
That's where we keep it private.
Love you.
You guys.
Thank you, team. Thank you for making it happen.
If you receive any value from this conversation, comment, subscribe, and share as we continue to impact more people and take them to the next level.
And please send us your comments and questions so we could answer them in the next podcast.
See you in the next episode.